Aquaman first appeared in More Fun Comics in November 1941, and it's an appropriate title because initially he did just seem to be a little bit of fun that DC was having. He's become more serious over the years, although the original origin story for Aquaman saw him being raised by a group of dolphins, and for the first part of his life he believed himself to be a misshapen dolphin. After this time, he was raised by a lighthouse keeper. Now, the interesting thing about Aquaman is they did get more serious with the character in the mid-90s. Certainly, in 1994, Aquaman loses his left hand in a battle and has it replaced with a harpoon, and then eventually it replaced with enchanted water. The enchanted water is probably a little bit trippy for the DC universe, although I do predict that we'll probably see Aquaman lose a hand during the movie itself. Now, according to the DC Comics Universe Guide, Aquaman has abilities such as being able to breathe underwater. He can telepathically communicate with sea life. He can swim 100 miles per hour underwater, enhanced strength, as well as, quote, other magical abilities. And if you introduce magic, really, all bets are off. I do predict, and this is a stone cold prediction, that at some point the bad guys will need access to the water, to the oceans, to something that's deep below the surface of the ocean, and that is where Aquaman will come into his own. I'm also predicting some type of love triangle. In the comic books, an attraction is often hinted at between Aquaman and Wonder Woman, both of them having royal blood, royal lineage. So I do envisage some sort of love triangle between Superman, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman. Now, it was a shock to me that Wonder Woman was going to be a part of this film.
Are you ready for the most dangerous women on Earth? They were called the Wonder Women, the most expert hit team this side of the underworld. The Wonder Women, beautiful, luscious, mysterious dolls, trained by the sinister Dragon Lady to do as they were told. They were killers, a sisterhood of death, but they were also women.
Sadly, it was not 1970s exploitation classic Wonder Woman that would make an appearance in this film, but of course Gal Gadot playing Wonder Woman. Still very early days as to what they can do with Wonder Woman in the standalone movie. Certainly, I think that they have a lot to prove in that the character had very little to do in Batman vs Superman, and a lot of cruel things have been said about Gal Gadot's performance. Certainly, I would say that there was very little screen presence there, and very little charisma. But given a standalone movie, who knows? Maybe she can surprise us all. Next up is Barry Allen, aka The Flash, the second Flash.
Barry Allen, Bruce Wayne.
You said that like it explains why there's a total stranger sitting in the dark in my second favorite chair.
The Flash here seems to be portrayed as a nerdy, socially awkward superhero, and I just breathed a sigh of relief that finally there's someone that can add a little bit of light and shade to the DC universe. Someone that can show us that it's not all doom and gloom out there. I'm looking forward to see what they do with this character, especially since Barry Allen is one of the more interesting versions of the Flash.